Hi, hey, I apologize. Something told me I needed to check my phone, and I got a notice that my iPhone storage was full and I needed to delete a whole bunch of stuff. So the video stopped at me working on this particular page. So I am going to do an instructional video to get you through the rest of this. So we've got some beaded gems here. These pockets were made using these cards, and I did trim and cut them down, both of them, to fit. I put on some big eye gems. I'm not going to remove them now because I glued them in. It'll end up tearing them. But we do have a nice big pocket here. Now, when you close this, these are the 8x8s, again, that I used. Now, I don't know where I made the comment, so I'm going to make it again. So if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. These flaps can come together if you're cutting fresh cardstock. What I'm using is some leftover cardstock from a larger album that I made. I just don't want to see it sitting there, and I know I won't get back to it, so I'm using it here. So that's why these don't close cleanly. Now, I've taken a couple of the cards from the 8x8, and I have made some tucks. I've mounted them on black cardstock, but this still leaves you ample room to put in a decent sized photo underneath with you tucking in what you want there. On both of these sides, and I should have given you the measurements for these panels because we were already working on them. But these panels here, let me tell you what we have. I've got to turn it. I was completely done when I noticed that the video, my phone was shutting off. Okay, so it's going to come in right here. So this outside you're going to cut to is measuring in at 4 5/8 across. You're going to have a 1/2 inch score, and then you're going to have an 5/8 of a score line. So we just want to make a 1/8 of an inch gusset to help absorb what we just built here. And the height is the 7 7/8. So getting back to this, we got a couple of pockets using the 8x8 cutouts, and then we've got this panel that is cut to fit. Down here we have a pocket. Now this pocket obviously measures the width of the panel, which is about 3 7/8, but I did cut them to a 2-inch height. So 3 7/8 by a 2/8 of it. I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm kind of frustrated. 2 inches in height by 3 7/8 in my width. I'm a little frustrated because I have a lot of frustration with this iPhone and the iCloud and the storage, and this has happened to me so many times. I'm doing something wrong on my phone and I don't know what it is. But anyways, when I taped these in, I used only an 1/8 of an inch tape because I wanted to be able to maximize the storage here in this pocket. So if I had used 1/4 inch tape, it would have come into here and cut considerably into the size and the width. But you see, you still have plenty of room up here for a decent sized photo. These are cards out of the 8x8. I simply cut them accordingly. There's 2. And then I scored down the center, backed them on some cardstock so they had a little bit of strength. And then I glued the bottom part of this closed so that these were just simply down here. This is the back side of the cards, and so I took some stickers and put them here to give a little bit of a decoration. And then I ran some black, these are bezeled, black bezeled beads that are across here. Now when we get, before you do any of this, stop, you're going to place a magnet here and you're going to place a magnet here. Then you're going to close this, you're going to turn it over, and you're going to let your magnets drop to try and find their weight. Now, The magnets I use, I get off of Amazon, and they're strong magnets, so they're able to pull through all this. Now, they are 10 by 2 is the measurement on this. 10 millimeters by 2 millimeters? I don't know, but it just says 10 by 2, and then there's 120 pieces. And like I said, they're extremely strong, and I need that. I love my basic gray, but they're just not strong enough to pull through all the weight that's here putting this together. Now, on the front of this, using the core paper, I got this on here, and then I cut the very center. I cut this piece before I did anything. I cut it smack dab down the center. And then I placed it right here on the panels, and I trimmed from the right side, and then I trimmed from the left side because I didn't want to lose any of the words here or the lettering here. And then any of the height I had to take out of this, I took it off the top because I did not want to cut into her skirt. Now, I did cut these out, and then I backed it on black cardstock, and then I mounted it on some foam so that there was some height, a little bit of depth going on here. And then with her, I did a fussy cut all the way around, cutting all this out, and then I mounted her on black cardstock, put pop-ups, and I'm putting her right back into place. But in doing so, you've got a blue piece that's going to be right here inside the hat, and I'm going to bend this back so you can see what I'm talking about, and I'll tape this down here in a minute. But you're going to have this little tiny piece. Don't lose it, okay? And then you're going to have this long strip here plus a piece down here, because this is the end of the handlebar to the bike, and so it's on black cardstock, so you've got a little bit of a gap back here, and then this entire piece will be separate. So when she comes off of here, you're going to have that small piece, you're going to have this larger piece, a small piece that tapers down to super, super skinny, and then you're going to have this bottom corner piece. So what I did was I put her back in first, and then I put these pieces underneath back in around her. So I hope that that helps to explain what I did with that. And again, you don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. You can just simply keep the paper just the way that it is. Now on the back side, I have used some 1/2-inch tape, and I hadn't even scored yet. I don't know what made me stand up to look, but just something. I just don't trust myself. I just don't trust the iPhone anymore. All right, so now I get to put it in here. And again, I so apologize that this had to be done in 2 segments. I'm just so frustrated with this. Okay, I'll get over it. I'll get over it here in a minute. Now, when you pull the ends of the strip off, what you want to make sure is that your gusset is standing up flat, that it's not caved in on you. And you'll need to do the same thing here with this gusset here on this end. You don't want them collapsing, and by that I mean flattening out, buckling under. You want them to be standing up nice and flat, nice and straight, just the way they were meant to. Okay, so I'm going to look here, make sure that, and if they are, just give a push back so that the tape will then control how that paper ultimately ends up laying in your album. Okay, we're done with this signature, and again, I sincerely apologize. I will be more mindful of what's going on my phone, I guess. And I'll see you on the next build. Bye-bye.